apparently I'm live. So let's see if anyone's out there. Oh, we have one person. Hey man, how's it going? Hope all is well. Greg. Hey Greg. Oh, we got some people coming in. What's up? I wonder if I can rotate this. That's better. What is up? I'm in Dallas at the moment. I'm staying with my in-laws. So we did the Axe Fest thing and then took a little bit of time, went to New York, went to New Jersey, and we're here with the family. And what do I do today? We're in, there's a really cool arts district near us. So we spend a lot of time walking around there. Take your shirt off. Believe me, you don't want to see that. Am I going to sell my AX8? Probably not. I'm going to hang on to it because I figure heaps of you guys want to talk about the FM3. So we can talk about that if that's cool. Come back to NYC, let's hang in jams. I'll definitely be coming back, and I'll definitely be eating some Texas barbecue when I come back. So tried the FM3 and love the form factor, love the sounds. So I bought an AX8, and then very shortly after they come out with an FM3. That's not a bad thing because I think the AX8 won't necessarily, the FM3 to me doesn't seem like a direct replacement. It just seems like a sort of different product here. Watch the Plague Side Studios videos about it because he nailed it. Absolutely nailed it when he said it's more like a side grade. The AX8's amazing. The fact that you can have like 8 scenes, instant access, and I don't see the FM3 replacing that. The FM3 to me is like, if you want to get into the game with the Fractal stuff and you want either a really portable solution for playing live, or you want a really portable pedal board based brain to use with an FC6 or an FC12. AX8 was the best guitar purchase I think I've ever made. Amazing piece of gear. Got a few questions. As Greg said, you'll be able to get your money back if you do want to sell it. And I'm in the US because I came over for the Boston Amp Show and Axe Fest. Did some clinics there, hung out, got my butt absolutely kicked watching guys like Dweezil Zappa and Andy Wood. Andy Wood was amazing. If you guys haven't heard Andy Wood, this dude is just, he can do everything so much better than everybody else. Jason Richardson played as well. That was ridiculous. Marco, I reckon, had the best tone. It's one of the best guitar tones I've just ever heard in my life. It's like goosebumps hearing that guy play, and he plays with so much. Don't know how else you could describe it. Listening to Marco makes your balls feel bigger. That's what it does. Andy Wood is not only an amazing player, but just a really cool dude, a really funny guy. So we did the Axe Fest thing. I did get to play. So I played on Sunday, and they did a live stream. If you go to my Facebook page, you can scroll down a little bit and you can see the whole thing because Fractal live streamed it. Your video's at the top of the official Fractal video list. That's super cool. I know that Matt was going to post that one, so they're really, really good. Great company. I spent a bit of time with Matt and his family after the gig for a few nights, and they deserve their reputation because everybody involved with that company is a great person. Cliff is a genius, and it was great. He was walking around with like a packet of cookies on Sunday, giving out cookies to everybody. He's like he's like gear dad, and that was super cool. So I played on Sunday, and you can check that out. But Andy and Jason and Dweezil played on Saturday. Oh, John Finn. John did one of the best clinics I've ever seen in my life. He came out and he played Diamond Dust by Jeff Beck, and he played a bunch of other stuff. And he sort of talked about doing the Boston Pops thing, and that was like, you know, in the Matrix, when he's like, I know Kung Fu. It was like that watching him. It's just, you're just downloading so much information with that kind of thing. So, and yeah, my thing, I think because everybody else, they organize it really well. I can hear a cat meowing. Let's see. Let's let him in. Come on. Come on. Check this out. Live cat. Let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? With the comments. John Finn. Johnny A. Yeah, he opened actually. He was using the axe and he did a whole looping thing, and that was pretty awesome. I would like to see from you an AX8 video comparing the II and your real cab versus the XFX3. That'd be cool. If you saw my Cab Lab video that I did recently, you can hear a comparison between the real cab and the XFX3 IRs. Are all that can get better at this point? Yeah, I don't know. They're pretty good as it stands. I think it depends on. Hey, pussycat. This isn't my cat. This is my in-laws' cat. This is Cirrus, and she loves to get on your shoulders. Cat owns a place, we're just servants. 100% correct. Hey, are you from the UK? No, I'm from Australia. Maybe if I talk a bit more like this, it sounds a bit more Australian. But what was I going to say? Yeah, anyway, the way they laid out Axfest, I think was really cool because everybody sort of covered different things. Like Andy came out and his whole thing was just play guitar, which I totally agree with. He was like, I don't really care what I'm using as long as it sounds good and as long as it's dynamic and as long as it does what I need to do. And a lot of his patches were really simple and really easy to replicate, but they sound incredible because he's an incredible player. It's like transparent. And then Jason Richardson came out and was like, yeah, I've been basically using the same preset for 8 years and I just converted it to XFX3 and you know, everything goes into his ears and he uses like the Friedman BE for all the dirty stuff and he just shreds the crap out of the guitar. And Dweezil did a really cool thing where him and Matt built a totally crazy preset using like all the wacky features you can on the XFX. And Cooper Carter did a really great one where he came out and said like, you know, it's about playing, just do a few things. He went through like his live preset and what he does and all the kind of little tricks. And no disrespect to Vi, but Andy Wood was there. Yeah, pretty much. You know, Steve's amazing, but Andy's like, he's like the people shredder, you know what I mean? And yeah, it was really great. So my approach to the whole thing was I didn't want to like cover what these other guys did because they do it all so much better than I do. And yeah, we just kind of did a thing where like we used 4 blocks and we did my main sort of dirty sound. And I played one of the new Ragdoll songs, which haven't been released yet. So if you want to hear that, you can go and watch the stream. And, you know, just kind of played around with the multi-delay, played around with the wah, did some clean stuff, did some edge of breakup stuff. People asked questions. I had so much fun. It was very, very nice to be invited. And on the Saturday, everyone went out for dinner. So that was pretty funny. And can confirm Andy Wood's like one of the funniest people you'll ever meet in your life. So, and also great to hang out with Mark Day as well, who his videos were like the reason I got really interested in the XFX. And then I saw a Brett Kingman video and I was like, yeah, I have to get one of these. So Mark is such a cool dude. Where are we at? How different is the AX8 versus XFX3? Ever checked out Dimitri? No, but I really should because I'm into the super shred thing. It's just on a whole other level. What was I ruffling on about? Let's talk about the FM3 because there's heaps of questions. I actually didn't play it that much. I probably played it like half an hour total, 20 minutes maybe. it was awesome to watch it power up, and it was awesome to hear Marco play through it, and it was awesome to hear a few other people playing through it, like Andy, obviously. And the way I see it, it's kind of like the AX8 is that thing you grab when you need like an indestructible gigging machine to do pretty much whatever you want. James, yeah, it was that was unfortunate. I know they didn't really have a schedule up, but yeah, I would have loved to have done it, but I think kind of everyone just ran over time, and we moved it back to Saturday. But it was still great to meet everyone who came on Saturday and didn't hang around on Sunday. So Saturday was definitely a bit busier, and they had the A-listers there, which is what it's all about. This cat needs to come out, I think. Do you have any videos out there on building presets for R&B and funk? Yeah, I do like an R&B and funk gig from time to time. So if you search like AX8 funk or something, it should come up with a preset. I'm definitely going to do one for the 3 because I'm going to start gigging the 3 a lot more now. But talking about the FM3, let's have a look. Sell the AX8? Probably not, just because I'm attached to it. I love it. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is whenever the FM3 is out and I can get one, I'm going to give my AX8 to my dad to use. And then I can also have the AX8 as a backup when I need it. But because I think he would really love that. He's got my old AXFX Ultra at the moment, and the AX8's even better. So where are we at? Would you do a full gig with an FM3? Yes. I think for me, I only need 3 or 4 sounds for most gigs that I do, and I need tap tempo. And because it's got press and hold, and because it's got a couple of other things, and I normally only use 1 amp and a few effects, for me, that would be the perfect small gig thing. I can leave the 3 in the studio, do videos with it, record with it, and then just leave the FM3. Pardon me. Leave the FM3 basically in a tiny little satchel bag. Probably fit in my double guitar bag, and then use that for most of the gigs that I do. And because it's got the looper, I can use it with it for acoustic gigs too. Yeah, definitely going to get my dad on. You guys are going to love him. He's larger than life, and he's a great player too. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like an FM3 and an FC6 is a great little rig. Do you think plugins like the Neural DSP and SCL are neck and neck with like the AX8? Honestly, if money is an issue and you're only playing at home, probably, because you're much better off not being in debt and having some good tones than being in debt and having some good tones. The Neural DSP stuff's really great. I would check out the Mercurial Spark and Reaxis plugins as well. Spark if you want the Mesa Mark series Petrucci kind of stuff. Spark if you want Marshalls. Sorry, I say Spark. Reaxis for Mesa stuff. And the Pliny plugin from Neural DSP is one of the best things I've heard as a plugin. And produce it with one client. I mix my own stuff for release. Man, do it. I think it sounds great. Is the AX8 dead development wise? Yes, I would be. I mean, obviously, I'm not Cliff. I don't work at Fractal Audio, but from what I understand, the person who ported the AX8 over from the XFX2 has left the company. So we would be really lucky to get a final update. And I know 10.1 already ported as much of the Aries stuff as it could. Ever try a solid state power amp with any modeler? Yeah, all of them. I've got a Matrix GT 800. What do you think the chances of Fractal putting out a native plugin? I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, man. Just because knowing someone like Cliff, he's all about quality. Fractal are very much like, if it's not the best, don't bother doing it. And having the best DSPs available and things like that is kind of what they're all about. And I think it's more a case of just like with PC based stuff, you can get it to sound great, but people are going to want a whole functional Axe effects on there. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, the GT800 is a really, really solid amp. I would highly recommend the Matrix stuff. That was up there with one of the best gear purchases I ever made. Just from looking at it, and I bought it blind pretty much, and I use it all the time to shoot impulses. And I've gigged with it a fair bit as well. Any new amps for the AX8? Honestly, I don't know. I'd be very surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if I had one last firmware update and add like the JP2C, but I would not count on it. Solid state power amps are cool, but they're only as good as what goes in. So the advantage of like a really good tube power amp like a Mesa 250 or one of the Marshall ones is that you can plug like a distortion pedal in, and you're gonna get that like boom in the low end, and you're gonna have that low resonant frequency, and you get all the good stuff about high quality transformers and tubes driving a speaker cabinet, which sorry about that, which a solid state power amp won't necessarily do. But if you've got all the power amp modeling already sorted going into the solid state power amp, then it's going to sound great. Honestly, man, like the Axe-FX 3, it doesn't seem like it would be such a big jump up, but there's so many small details which are a little bit more like high resolution that I think it's really worth it. If you love the fractal stuff, I can't see you regretting getting a 3 because it's an amazing, amazing machine. Oh, right, that's interesting to hear about the Axe into the effects loop. Yeah, the Matrix is great. The FM3, I have no idea. No, they're in the like. They had one at the Axe Fest, and it was still in the beta phase. There were a few things on it that weren't set up or working yet, but playing it, it did sound incredible. Like it sounds like the 3, which is pretty cool. Didn't they advertise the Axe-FX 3 has 3 times the processing power? Yeah, it's I think the big thing is with digital stuff, the oversampling is really important. So I think they're just using a much higher oversampling rate, and there's certain points in there where there's like 64-bit floating number stuff, which is going to make a difference. There's way more factory IRs, and the factory IRs are way better. The stuff like the multi-band compressor, which is incredible for shaping tones. The drives got an update. They all sound way better, and there's a lot more new, really usable drives. There's the cloud reverbs. There's the Plex reverb. If you're an ambient guy or you like clean tones, if you just have a clean amp into the Plex verb, it is the most incredible. Yeah, Fred Brown, Plex verb for reverb, man. It is, the Plex verb is like, if you like the Strymon Big Sky, Plex verb is where it's at. Leon, you love our hotel rooms, don't you? Yes, I do. I'm not in a hotel at the moment, though, so... Oh, that's really interesting. You think Matrix will ever make a pedal-based power amp? They should. If it's possible, they should do that, because they would sell a buttload of those things. I think Seymour Duncan did a great thing with a power stage and made that a lot more accessible. Could you imagine a Fractal FM3 and a Matrix, like, GT400 on the floor as a rig, straight into like a 212 or something? That would be killer. That would be really awesome. Plus tone match, the ability to capture your own impulse responses, just all the delays, and there's a lot more features in the multi-delay that I really like, and there's more instances of blocks as well. I think it's one of those things where it's like, you know, does it sound that different? Well, the amps probably sound like 5% different. Everything sounds like 5% different, but if you think about wah, drive, amp, cab, delay, chorus, reverb, those small percentage differences really start to add up. And the advantage is, if you're in a 2-guitar band, you can easily run 2 guitars into that and have separate rigs running in parallel. You can do the 2-amp blending thing. We're doing ragdoll gigs now where we're using the Axe-FX 3 for guitar and for bass. So I plug my guitar into the front. It goes through my normal rig and comes out of output 1. Ryan plugs his bass into input 2. It goes through, I think, like a dark glass, the SVT, an impulse, and a little bit of a room simulation, and then straight out. And the bass has never sounded so good. Let's see. How do the Fractal IRs compare to Own Hammer? There's a lot of Own Hammer IRs stock, so they definitely compare. Where are we at? Thoughts on the Ampro Hotone? Haven't tried it. Would love to. If those guys are listening and they want to hook me up with one, I will demo it for you guys and make it sound good, I hope. But I haven't seen anywhere here which sells them, which, I mean, is no excuse. I could go on eBay, but I've got a like bazillion other things to demo. My schedule is filling up pretty fast, which is really nice. Thank you, Cooley23. That's very nice. Steve Lansor, 2 separate rigs. Yeah. Yep. You could, there's 4 ins and 4 outs, so you could run up to 4 people through it. There's only 2 amp blocks, but you could go like 2 guitars with amp and cab and stuff, acoustic guitar with like compressor and parametric or keyboard, and then like bass as well. So that's pretty rad. You should network and play a lot of people's music in the US. Yeah, I would love to do that. If anyone wants me to record guitar solos on stuff, send me your stuff. I will get it back to you. That would be really fun. Probably a good way to get my name out there a bit more in the US too. Let's see. Friedman should make a JJ pedal. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. You know, they make the BE and the Dirty Shirley. I would really like to try one of those. How does the switching work with multiple players? You can either use scenes, or the cool thing about the FC controllers is you can daisy chain them, and you could use channels. So each player could control like the channels on their drive blocks and the channels on their amps and things like that. So each block has 4 channels. So you could have like each player could, say you had 2 guys, each with an FC6, they could independently switch all of their effects on and off, and also change the channels on each of those. Are we getting to have Sensitive Sunday? Yes, I recorded a whole bunch of them before I left. So this one is probably like a bluesy thing. I think I use a Les Paul. Yeah, there's one coming up on Sunday, so that's cool. Keeley El Rey Dorado, probably one of the best plexitone I've ever heard. Putting that on the list. The first pedal, no, the third pedal I ever bought in my life was a Keeley compressor, and boy, did I love that thing. I sold it like 5 years ago because I wasn't using it anymore, but that was like a holy grail thing when I bought it. That was pretty awesome. You think they're going to launch an FM8 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9? I don't know, but if you think about it, they've used the FC6 format, so it would make sense that they would also use the FC12 format at some point. I would say the FM3 is like, pardon me, like I said earlier, it's this new tier in their thing. It's, remember when like Apple did the iPhone 5S, and then they did the 5C. So they always have like iPhone 5. This is like the benchmark. Then you have the S, which is like an upgraded thing. And then they have the C, which is like slightly less features, but it does all the cool stuff you want. If you just want like a thing you can message on and watch videos on, do your thing. That's the way I see the FM3. It's like, for me, sometimes I just want to plug in, have an amp and a cab and a delay. And I just want to play guitar. I want to put it on the floor. I don't want to tweak. I just want to dial up like the Atomica high model, put it on a V30 cab, put on the stereo bucket brigade delay or the multi delay, and I want to sit there and I'll play guitar. And that's the kind of thing that I think the FM3 does no problem. And then if you want it to have some more features, then it would be a really good choice. Plus it has USB, it's an interface. So if you're someone who you want to start doing guitar videos, or you just want to play along to backing tracks and record your own music, you could use that as a desktop thing, and you've got you know, in my opinion, the best sounding amp modeling. You can pull incredible guitar tones from it, and you can print them all from the same unit, which is pretty awesome. The preamp live, yeah, I would. That's something that I've got a friend who owns one, so I think I'm gonna hit him up when I get back and see if I can borrow it. And yeah, like maybe profile some of my amps with it, and it seems really good for the price. How big is the FM3 compared to the full rack? It's not a whole rack size. If you've seen the FC6, it's the same size. So it's about 2/3 of the size of an AX8, which is a little bit smaller than a whole rack space. So I can't even remember what the dimensions are. You'd have to look them up, but it's bigger than a HX Stomp. That's a little bit bigger than an Amplifier 6, but it's smaller than an AX8. Whole lot of Bulldog. What's up, man? How are you? I hope you're doing well. Where else are we? Yeah, to get back to Louise. I'm stuffing this up, man. Sorry. Yeah, it really depends. I mean, an FM3 and an FC6 would be a great replacement or an upgrade from an AX8. And then you've got the option, say you don't want your FM3 on the floor where people are going to spill beer on it at a gig. You can put it up somewhere safe and just use the FC6 to control it. So that would be cool too. Yeah, it is. It's bigger than some of the other ones. I'd love to see Fractal do just a pure desktop thing with amp knobs and like maybe just amps and IRs. That would be cool. Kind of like the amplifier box. Dan Pfeiffer, from what I understand, when they compare it to the power of the AX8, it's got different DSPs. So it's sort of like it's running up. It would be like take the AX8 DSPs and however they're running and replace them with the newer models that can run the new code that's optimized for it. It's sort of like, yeah, I don't think it's just like, that was my understanding of it anyway, that it's not just like an AX8 and they've put the new firmware on it. It's a different architecture that's as powerful as the AX8, but the way it's running, because it's like a 3-core thing, it's a hybrid thing, that there's one processor for the amps and there's one for the other. Like on the AX8, you can only, one processor does amps and the other does effects, whereas with this, I think they're playing around with, I think, don't quote me on this, I don't want to put like misinformation out there, that they might be able to offload some of the effects on there. But yeah, I guess we'll see when it actually comes out. Hi Chad, thanks for tuning in. Aaron, how's it going? Rainy old Perth. I was just in New Jersey and it was even colder than it is in Perth at the moment, even though it's spring. So I think I'll be well adjusted. It is lovely in Texas at the moment though. Kind of like Intel chips versus AMD. I think so. Yeah, I think they're using different chips, or they're using like a different combination or something like that, so it makes them more efficient, or however this stuff works. The Perthians are here. New Jersey, yeah. Hey, we were in rural New Jersey, kind of close to Pennsylvania, and it was beautiful. I thought New Jersey was just, you know, the equivalent of like all the cities and stuff, that rural New Jersey is incredible. We went out to like Frenchtown and New Hope and a few things like that, and just had the most wonderful time. It was really incredible. So many birds, so much beautiful landscape. We went to like the Delaware River and a lot of like really historic stuff from the Revolutionary Wars, and I'm a big history buff, so that was really cool. They still can you please shout out Amanda Amanda Hug and Kiss. Hey Amanda Hug and Kiss, guys. Yeah. Oh man, I love The Simpsons. Thank you for that. Thank you. That got me. You can tell I'm a little bit tired. Who's this? Dan. Yeah, thanks, Dan. That means a lot, man. If there's anything you'd like to see, let me know. So let's see. Where are we at? Cool. All right. I'm going to head off in a few minutes. So if you guys have any last questions, let me know. I'm going to go and get some dinner. There is a great Salvadorian restaurant in Dallas called Gloria's that I'm going to go to. And if anybody is going to the Dallas International Guitar Festival tomorrow, I'm going to try to be there in like late afternoon. I've got a bunch of stuff on earlier in the day with the family, and Eric Johnson is playing at like 6 o'clock apparently. So that's a pretty big, seeing EJ is a pretty big bucket list thing for me. So I'm going to try and make it out to that. I know Larry Mitchell's going to be there. I know Phil X is going to be there. So I'm going to try and make it out to that tomorrow. And I will take photos and footage and things like that. So that should be pretty fun. And yeah, I'll be back in Perth next week, back on the horse. There's a bunch of videos still scheduled that will be coming out in the interim. So if you guys have suggestions for stuff that you want to see, I'm going to do some more AX8 videos and some more AX8 presets, because if they really are winding that down, then I'm going to do a kind of like farewell to AX8 kind of video, because it's such a great product. And I'm sure a bunch of you guys out there are still going to keep yours, which you definitely should, because it's amazing. I'll put some stuff out. So if you got like requests for presets and things like that, let me know. Let's see, any last questions? This is not updating anymore, so I assume everyone's pissing off. Hey, from Michigan. Right back at you, man. It is an absolute pleasure. Alrighty, that's it from me. Thank all you wonderful people for all your support, because this hit 20,000 subs, which is incredible. I can't believe that. You guys are awesome. And I'll try to do some more live Q&A stuff over the following weeks, months, years, however it goes. And if you got questions about stuff, let me know. I'm having a great time, and I'll touch base with you guys when I'm back home. And hopefully the International Guitar Festival is amazing. Eric Johnson, yeah, that's going to be great. Alrighty, peace out, guys. Love you all. Take care. Be good to one another. I will see you next time.